During a leisurely stroll along the Irish coastline, Miriam and her father had an astonishing encounter with a massive sea creature resting on a rock. They could hardly believe their eyes. Little did they know that this creature, now affectionately known as Wally, would go on to cause a stir along the shores of Europe, earning both admiration and exasperation. In response to his behavior, authorities felt compelled to take decisive action before any harm occurred. At first glance, Wally's appearance wouldn't suggest trouble. He exuded a playful and jovial demeanor, seemingly drawn to human settlements rather than his Arctic habitat. However, despite his global celebrity status, his mischievous antics did not sit well with the residents of European towns he frequented, prompting authorities to intervene. While the world at large marveled at Wally, few realized the inadvertent chaos he brought with him. Some individuals were so agitated by his presence that they even contemplated deporting him from EU waters, much to poor Wally's chagrin. So what could this adorable creature have possibly done to ruffle so many feathers? Ever since he appeared on unfamiliar shores, Wally exhibited peculiar behavior. Yet it wasn't his fault. He was simply navigating a new environment and trying his best to adapt. When Wally first graced the shores of County Kerry, Ireland in 2021, it left the public and wildlife experts astonished. This is the first confirmed sighting of a walrus. It's a one-off as far as I'm concerned, remarked Kevin Flannery, a marine biologist at Dingle Ocean World Aquarium. Walruses typically inhabit the Arctic, making Wally's presence in warmer waters a curious deviation. Experts struggle to explain why he embarked on this journey away from his natural habitat, but theories abound. One theory suggested that Wally, approximately 4 years old, inadvertently embarked on his journey. Flannery proposed that he might have fallen asleep on an iceberg and only awakened miles away from his comfort zone. However, the World Wildlife Fund wasn't entirely convinced of this explanation. Tom Arnbaum, a senior advisor at WWF, shared his perspective with BBC News in 2021, suggesting that adolescent animals like Wally often embark on long trips. Arnbaum believed that Wally was likely in search of food, as walruses eventually need to access shallow waters, less than 100 to 200 meters deep, to feast on mussels or clams, consuming thousands of them daily. This behavior made Wally a bit shellfish in not sharing his bounty with fellow walruses. Arnbaum also speculated that Wally might roam a bit before returning home. Wally's presence on County Kerry's Valentia Island fascinated a father and daughter, Alan and Miriam Houlihan. Alan described Wally's immense size, comparing him to a large bull. The pair watched Wally with delight as he briefly disappeared into the sea before returning to rest on a rock for hours. However, as Arnbaum had suggested, Wally eventually grew restless. Wally's journey continued to Broadhaven South Beach in Pembrokeshire, Wales, where he was observed by witnesses who alerted Welsh Marine Life Rescue. Cleopatra Brown, sent to investigate, confirmed that it was indeed a walrus, describing it as the size of a cow and a whopper. She marveled at the unexpected sight, likening it to seeing a penguin in one's living room, a truly extraordinary encounter. Ellie West, a representative from the RSPCA, Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, conducted a checkup on Wally during his stay. Interestingly, she noted that he was slightly thinner than expected, but reassured everyone that he showed no signs of sickness or injury, despite being on the verge of inadvertently causing an incident at his next stop. Wally resurfaced, quite literally, in Tenby, Wales, where he spent several days indulging in copious amounts of food, effectively putting himself into a contented food coma. Unfortunately, his chosen resting place posed an inconvenience. He settled on a lifeboat slipway, blocking access for emergency vehicles. Unaware that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Wally received an unexpected awakening when a crew volunteer attempted to move him. Using a sweeping brush for the first attempt proved futile, as Wally appeared unimpressed. However, the crewman returned armed with an air horn, which proved more effective in prompting Wally to find an alternative place to rest. After Wally overstayed his welcome in Wales, he swam to Padstow in Cornwall, England, where he received a warmer reception. He even entertained tourists on a sea safari who were treated to an unexpected walrus sighting. Wally accompanied their boat for a brief period, leaving passengers astonished by his appearance, complete with tusks. Nathaniel Berry, a wildlife photographer for Padstow Sea Life Safaris, documented Wally's presence, noting his tusks. This unexpected encounter garnered significant attention and made Wally a popular walrus. Crowds of fans often gathered to witness his arrivals at new destinations. Local shops in coastal towns began selling walrus-themed merchandise to commemorate Wally's visits. From cushions and t-shirts to mugs adorned with walrus designs, people had a chance to celebrate their encounters with Wally. Additionally, Wally's adventures in Wales were immortalized in a children's book titled Wally the Walrus by Sharon Taylor. Tenby was so enchanted by Wally that a local brewery, Tenby's Harbor, honored him with a beer named Tamar's Tusk. The name playfully referred to his nap on a lifeboat slipway. However, not everyone found Wally's presence charming. Wally's behavior, while suitable for his Arctic environment, posed challenges in European waters. In July 2021, John Horston of the Blue Planet Society mentioned concerns about Wally's actions causing inconvenience and potential financial burdens. Some people even suggested deporting Wally and returning him to the Arctic. However, the Department of Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, explained that moving marine mammals could stress the animal and that they might return to their original location. Wally's peculiar behavior may have resulted from his natural instincts. Typically, walruses pull themselves out of the water and rest on ice floes, which serves as a break from swimming and plays a vital role in their hunting and feeding routines. This behavior could have been entirely possible, given Wally's journey to Europe possibly originating from an iceberg ride. As the Smithsonian Museum has explained, walruses rely on sea ice as a platform for nursing their young and for launching their dives in search of clams and other bottom-dwelling creatures. However, in warmer waters where ice is scarce, they must find alternative resting places. Wally, the adventurous walrus, chose boats as his unconventional resting spots, much to the amusement of some lucky tourists. For many, encountering a walrus while enjoying a boat trip is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Raph Ward, the owner of the yacht Calypso, along with the tourists he took out to sea, eagerly sought out Wally in the Isles of Scilly, England. Wally's presence delighted the passengers who couldn't believe their luck. Although Ward attempted to maintain a respectful distance, Wally seemed to take a liking to the boat, making the experience unforgettable. However, owners of smaller boats took a more serious view of Wally's antics. A 2,000-pound walrus could cause substantial damage, leading to the sinking of some vessels and rendering others unusable for days. Boat owners faced not only repair expenses but also disruptions to their livelihoods. Their frustration was palpable, with some voicing their concerns online. Despite Wally's charm, some individuals believed he posed a potential danger. Accidental incidents, such as flipping a dinghy in Tenby while trying to climb aboard, highlighted the potential risks. Although no injuries occurred in that instance, British Divers Marine Life Rescue, BDMLR, recognized the need to address the situation. BDMLR, in collaboration with conservation groups and authorities, emphasized the risks Wally's presence posed, including the potential to hinder emergency response operations and cause injuries. While Wally's future remains uncertain, County Cork, Ireland has adopted a more accommodating approach. Instead of attempting to remove Wally, they are providing him with temporary resting platforms. For instance, when Wally used a motorboat owned by West Cork's Clonakilty distillery, the company allowed him to continue using it until a more permanent solution could be found. Authorities are also seeking other individuals willing to provide resting spots for Wally. Seal Rescue Ireland emphasized the importance of treating Wally like any other wild animal and urged people to maintain a respectful distance. Melanie Croce, the organization's executive director, emphasized the need for people to respect Wally's natural habitat. Politician Malcolm Noonan of the UK's Green Party likened Wally's status under the law to that of a fox or rabbit, further encouraging people to use binoculars for observation and leave the walrus in peace.